ready.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi, Mama.
Is your microphone on?
Yes.
Okay. I think mine's on too.
Yeah, yours is blinking.
It is good. Okay.
I'm not blinking anymore. It's good. Okay.
We decided that this time you were in the right frame of mind to talk about the moment, the night that broke your mama. You're like, which one?
I need more context. Are we talking about the night?
That night.
But there was a few nights.
There was a few nights, but it was the night, and I think you would peg it in 2021.
2022.
2022, sorry. Again,
Yeah.
my dates get blurry.
After my relapse. So this is...
This is the night that I finally said, I cannot keep drowning. That I'm drowning in the bottle, but I'm not drinking.
That's a good way to put it.
So this was the moment that I found myself on the streets, driving aimlessly, looking for you. Once again, I could say actually trying to save you. And I finally realized that I had gotten myself into such an emotional jam, and potentially I was on the verge of losing, I felt, even my career potentially, that I had been working at for 30 plus years. And not that I want to ever put my career over family, but I had so much on the line in this moment. Yeah,
It's different.
And we had done this over and over and over again, that I finally just threw my hands up and I said, I cannot do it anymore. I'm changing. So the night starts, and actually again, maybe push the rewind button. You'd moved in with me,
Mm-hmm.
and you had gotten a job, and I was so incredibly hopeful for you because almost instantly, within I think a matter of weeks, you'd gotten promotion.
Yeah, I did.
And I felt like you were killing it at that job.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of my favorite jobs I had. I worked for UPS for a while when I got home, and it was a fantastic job. I mean, it was
They pay
probably
well.
my second favorite job, yeah.
I think you have insurance.
I had insurance. Didn't have to work crazy hour, like 30 hours a week, and we were out. I mean,
Yeah,
it was pretty much...
the benefits were great.
It was a fantastic opportunity for me to kind of get started in my career force, and that was kind of where I was going, and that's okay.
Yeah, and it was one of those moments when I went so high because there was so much hope.
Yeah.
Right? The moms cheering on her child who's been struggling with addiction. And I was so high. Like, I was just so excited. And that is the reason why I feel like my crash that time, my emotional crash, was the time that I was able to say, I can't do this anymore. You were going to work, and then suddenly you weren't going to work. Remember that? You were staying home more and more.
Oh, that was...
Or not, or deciding that, you were sick, or you were taking time off.
It
was one of the signs. I could tell. I thought something was up.
I was going that direction when I was working for Amazon, and I would come home early, because it was just grueling work, and I was just not for me. But also, that they say that the relapse starts before the actual relapse. So at this point, I've been sober 4 years, and I was just going through a really bad mental health crisis for about a year. Started working at Amazon before UPS, and yeah, I was cutting out early, and then I think after a minute at UPS, I would call out and come home. But during that time, from what I remember is like I would show up at work, and I'd be too drunk to go in.
To UPS?
Yes. Yeah, I'd be too drunk to go in. That was the one time that I visibly remember, like, after relapsing, post-relapse. It wasn't the day I relapsed, it was afterwards, is that I pulled up, was out there getting drunk, kept blowing it off, and then called the line and was like, I'm not coming in. And somehow, and UPS was out in West Valley, deep in West Valley. It was the warehouse was forever.
It's about 30 minutes from our home.
Yeah, I was so, and I hate this, but I was so drunk that I I sat there. I sat out of the parked for forever before being like, okay, I think I'm at a point where I can drive.
You didn't
But I
drive
was-
for them though.
Not for
You-
UPS. Oh
you're
God.
just- yeah.
No,
Make sure that
No,
you
I was not
were
delivering
clear.
packages with a fucking .3 BAC. No,
No,
No.
you worked a different job.
no, I worked in the warehouse. I decided to leave the job and drive home, but I was like
In your own car.
in my own car, not in a
Yeah. Yeah, well, I just want to make sure we're clear
throwing
on that.
people's fucking packages out the window. Not to like make light of anything,
No,
but
of course
like
not.
and chucking them on the.
Well, sometimes, I mean,
running,
I think we look back on it and
swerving.
if we're laughing, it's not because we thought it was funny at all in the
It
moment.
wasn't funny.
There was tons of tears, and I mean, it was horrible. When we look back and you say it like that, I'm like, wait, we got to make sure everybody's clear.
Yeah,
You were
I was not-
you were not driving one of the brown trucks.
there was nothing. Yeah,
You didn't
UPS
wear a
is
little
the
UPS uniform
UPS
around.
is literally the best company ever.
They were
I have
great.
to say, like I said, one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. Awesome people
They were great.
there.
They were great
fantastic.
to you. They were so good to you.
No, I was not driving their truck.
Right. So you left and you come back, and this is totally, I'm oblivious to this.
Well, it's
part.
like I was working night shift, so you were probably in bed asleep.
So the thing is, I think it's important to tell people, at this point in my career, I worked the morning show at a local radio station. I've been a TV news reporter for a really long time, for almost all your life. And then I transitioned into radio, where I hosted a news talk show every morning from 9 to noon. And people think, oh, well, you just show up at 9 and you go on the air and you just talk for 3 hours straight. I'd get up at 3:30 in the morning. I would prep. This would come off of the heels of prepping the night before for the next day's show. I mean, I took my job extremely seriously, whether it's lining up interviews for the next day or just prepping, reading, background, going back through old news articles or reminding myself of stories, whatever it was. I'd get up at 3:30 in the morning. 4 a.m. was sleeping in. I'd work out because I wanted to keep my mental health strong. I'd read my headlines, I'd read the news articles, I'd make my coffee, make my breakfast, and then I would get into the office at about 6 a.m. and then prep for 3 hours. I think at this point in the trajectory of that part of my career, I was getting in at about 6:30. We were starting show prep together as a team a little bit later. So 6:30 to 9, and then 9 to noon I'm on the air, straight. And then Lizzie's living with me, and you're working at UPS, and again, woohoo, this is a great job, it's a great company, great benefits, they're taking care of their employees, I'm loving this for you. And then I start to notice, like, again, not going to work as much. But I asked you one night, we sat there, and I said, are you drinking again? And you denied it. And you continued to deny it. And I had no choice but to believe you. I didn't smell alcohol. I didn't see any alcohol.
Yeah,
I just felt like maybe perhaps it was your mental health I was hoping, I guess, that it was your mental health that was kind of, but it's just so, like, it's just nagging at me. I could sense it.
Yeah.
I could sense it.
Well,
but
because I had already relapsed. At that point, I had already been drinking before, and then I had to get sober again because it was like I was drinking during the day.
do you remember what drove you to the relapse that time?
That was like, I really truly felt like a downward spiral for like that whole, at least since COVID, like at least since March of 2020. So like almost a 2-year long spiral of like, I was good for a good 8 months into COVID. Like I was living my life and having a good time and it all was well. But I think after kind of the ban started lifting in 2021, I really just hit a wall. Like I think my mental health was so bad, it was inevitable. And also, you know, like I talked about in the podcast, is like aftercare just wasn't as, maybe it wasn't as pressed on as back when I went to rehab than it is now. And it's, you know, even now maybe not as much, but it's just so imperative. And I wasn't going to therapy. I wasn't going to psychiatrist appointment. Like I wasn't taking care of myself. There was so much more I could have done to hold it back. But yeah, the night I relapsed, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to a bar with a friend I met at Amazon, and were like, yeah, we'll go to this bar, and it was like no big deal. But at that point, I had already like I feel like it's like they say, like I tell clients, is like the relapse starts way before the actual relapse. Like you actually drinking is like the end of it. Do you know what I mean? Like the relapse starts when you stop doing the things that I was supposed to be doing.
Keeping yourself mentally healthy.
Which probably was a year before at least.
Which would be, give me just like 3 things that you realize, if you have that many, that you stopped doing that were indicators that you were heading down the road to a relapse.
Well, in COVID, I didn't really do a deep dive into therapists, but I did start going to therapists, and I was going regularly. I think you probably remember it was through the summer of COVID all the way until the fall, and I had stopped doing that in the early months of 2021. So that's one thing.
So just to highlight that, to put a pin in that,
mm-hmm.
you stopped going to therapy.
Yes, I stopped going to
so
therapy.
That could be one indicator.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was I going to say? Oh, the meds. So after being in, like, I was taking my regular meds that I'd always taken, but then they had prescribed me something when I was clearly going in a downhill spiral, like in that direction in the summer of 2021. They gave me meds that could have helped with it, and I was not taking them regularly.
Okay, so that would be a second indicator.
As well as depression medication that I was not taking regularly. Okay. Even when I was living with you, they had put me on it, and I wasn't taking it. I was just like, no. I didn't start probably taking it until during my relapse, like during the drinking stages.
Can we just camp on that for a moment?
Yes.
What was it that made you not take that depression medication?
Oh, I was just like, I was scared of the effects that it was going to have on me. Like I was scared of like or they say like people get worried about the side effects, but I didn't even give them a chance really. You know what I mean?
Well, in my experience with depression medication, when I had my depression bout in 2010-ish, 11, whenever that was, we can talk about that at a later time, many years. That's a whole nother 9 months of depression. I remember them telling me, you have to give these a chance to kick in.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, you have to like take them for a matter of, I don't know if things are different now.
At least a month.
A month, yeah.
You have to take them. They're not going to show side effects for a few weeks, at least a month.
But I had the same thoughts that you did, that, now that we're comparing notes, was like, I mean, I don't even know if I'm afraid of the side effects.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You're like not getting out of bed, Deb.
What if I don't have a
How
personality? What if they...
A personality, yeah. I'm not getting out of bed. I'm sleeping way too much, or I'm just, everything I was catastrophizing everything.
Well, I take everything now.
And you do, so that's a
on
much
point.
Clearer.
Yeah, I don't stop. I don't run out. I don't even allow myself to get close. Like this is
awesome.
Is
Is that a difference maker?
Yes.
I think it is.
Oh my God, yeah.
You would know.
Yeah, my life changed. Yeah. I mean, and it was a slow progression of like trying different things and getting and adding things on and getting to a point of like where I'm at right now, where I feel really fucking good, and like mentally I'm doing like really good for the first time. And it like ever, because I feel like even getting sober wasn't enough. Like mentally I was never to the point that I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, as much as as people might like not like medication or whatever the situation might be, sometimes you just need it. Sometimes therapy, sometimes groups, sometimes AA, sometimes it's just not all enough. That's okay. But yeah, that's what I went out with a friend, and I was pretty much there where I was like, oh, I feel like this was all my mental health the whole time. I justified like drinking because I was like, I feel like they put me on the new meds like 6 months earlier. I was taking them at random when I wanted to. I was like, I feel like the drinking thing was just a phase when I was 21. I feel like, or 19, 20, 21.
Rationalizing.
I felt like I was trying to convince myself in my head that the time I spent drinking in my early 20s, like it wasn't I was depressed. I had just gone through a really hard breakup. My parents just got divorced. Like there's all these things happening when I was 21, or not 21, 20, where I went into like a year-long bender and drinking every day was that there was all these reasons why, and now maybe I can drink and be normal. And I think I held on to something you said, which I think this is all on me, but I think you had said when I was 20, 21 and I went to rehab, it was probably the second time or the first time. I don't remember, but you told me this isn't probably going to be forever. I think at some point in the future you can drink like normal. Yeah, no, okay, I just need to say this, and the only reason I'm saying this is not because
I can't believe I said that.
People don't fucking know, and this is in 2017.
Yeah.
People, sorry, I can't swear, but people do not know. Like, parents will say that out of encouragement. It was encouragement and hope of, like, it's not always, you won't always have to not drink. Like, at some point, you'll be able to have a glass of wine with dinner, and you'll be fine. Like, it's going to be okay. But, you know, you got to wait maybe a few years and see where you're at. So at that point, it's like, I'm justifying it with...
Well, you had, it's like I had unwittingly given you permission that I should have never given you.
Yeah.
Even though I had reported on situations involving alcohol, whether it's, you know, somebody who'd been DUI or, you know, liquor violations in the state of Utah, whatever it was, I wasn't an expert on alcoholism.
No.
And I should have never have uttered those words. It's not, quite frankly, I just didn't know.
I think I was so young, though, that it was like...
Maybe it's a phase.
Maybe it's a phase.
It's college. It's
a breakup. She's just partying too much. She just got
lesson
on a
learned.
bender. I mean, this is, and the reason I'm saying this is because I feel like there's so many people out there that are like kids that parents are like, okay, they're 18, 19, like they're not an alcoholic. It's just a phase, or it's just like a temporary thing. They're just partying. Like that's not it. Like there's, you know, when someone's drinking to excess, and like if you can catch the early warning signs, like, and not put it on, oh, maybe they're just going through a hard time, or it's just a phase. Like, it's not. And I think also 2017, it was a different time. I think it was young. I mean, I went to rehab, people were like, you're here for alcohol? Like, that's all you did was alcohol? Now it's like, hey, alcohol is one of the worst, because it can kill you coming through withdrawals and from drinking too much. So, I mean, every drug's bad, but it's also very bad. Well, it's awful for you.
Also, alcohol is legal.
And it's legal, which makes it way worse.
You know, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to justify. What I'm saying is, when you think about the alcohol, you'd be like, it's legal. So how is that?
People justify it.
Right.
They really
absolutely do.
No, 100%.
At one point in one of our episodes, I would love you to walk us down the road of what are those early warning signs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you and I once had a discussion that I want to revisit too, to talk about like where you were hiding alcohol, like where are some of the places we can go, because that to me was it was a wake up call. It was also very fascinating.
It's just how desperate you get.
Yeah,
it's just how desperate you get. It's kind of crazy. But
we can talk about all that.
I'll finish the tail end of what it was. But I drank at the bar with my friend, and it was 1, then it was 2. It wasn't enough that I was like belligerent or anywhere near where I was at, like towards the end. Like this was like, oh, I probably had 4 beers at the bar. We went and had a drink downtown, and I was still good. Like, we went back to his place, took a beer to go. Like, we're all good. I told you, and I remember, I told you when I was at the first bar, because I had to go to work that night, and I actually went to work. But I told you, and you were like, you didn't say, oh my God, what the hell? Like, it was like, oh Mom, like, I decided to drink, and I think I kind of been throwing it out there a little bit. And I was like, it's all good, like, I'm good, and I'm controlling it, but you could tell you were very, like, worried. Like, you were very worried about that. And then I came home, I got ready real quick, and I saw you, but, like, so it wasn't, like, my actual using of the alcohol for the first time in 4 years was, like, some big secret, and, like, we weren't discussing it, because you knew I drank that night. I texted you and told you, like, right when I decided to drink. But you knew you were concerned, and even like me saying, "Oh, it's fine." I think that it was just my mental state and all the excuses. But yeah, it was a downward, like it was a snowball effect of like starting out with just a couple beers to like I definitely drink more than I had intended to that day, and that's what should have been the beginning of the end for me, like with it, because I drank too much. Then not too much to be very drunk, but I was obviously intoxicated, and that wasn't my plan. My plan was like 1 or 2 beers.
But you couldn't stop.
I couldn't stop once I got a taste of it. So go ahead and we'll tell about the.
So fast forwarding to the moment when it just became too much. Yeah, and I'm trying to like mentally process, like trying to remember your text message and telling me that. I'm like, why would I?
No, I
The
think
thing
we
is,
had
is
that
always
discussion.
launching
Mom.
search and rescue operations as a family became just so impossible.
When
like
no,
to constantly like
well,
search and go find you.
no,
or,
you knew well, yeah, I told you I was going to the bar. I just said maybe I'm gonna drink. I was manipulating it in such a way of like I probably was like pinpointing a lot of the reasons, which maybe I wasn't trying to be manipulative, but like I truly believed that in my head, and I was just not in a good mental spot to be deciding whether I should be drinking alcohol or not after 4 years. But like me justifying in my own head, and then probably discussing with you and justifying it to you of why I could probably have
trying
a
to
few beers.
come in for like a soft landing or something like that.
Yeah, and I told you I'm going out with my friend to the bar named Sue, and I told you like, you know, I don't know, I might drink a beer or something. Like I might have a beer. I want to be able to have a beer, and I probably did that whole thing, and then it was a snowball effect.
So this was a weeknight. I had and I'll just speak from my perspective, and then you can fill in the gaps from your perspective. Yes. I'd gone to bed, tried to be in bed by 9 or 10. I wasn't always great about that, so I slept 5 hours a night, and I was not a big sleeper your whole life, so I was 4 or 5 hours a night every night. And I'm a light sleeper. So my Ring doorbell camera alerts me on my phone.
You heard me stumbling down the hallway.
No, I don't remember that. Oh, maybe I did, but I was a little groggy, so I wasn't processing.
Okay.
Because the next thing I remember is my phone like lights up, and I pick up my phone, and I'm trying to like process, because I think this was at about 1:30 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe more like 1 a.m. I mean, whatever. It was. We should have all been in bed.
It was midnight or 1.
Yeah, it was
probably
super early. So, but I was exhausted, obviously, just completely out. Pick up my phone, and my Ring doorbell video would process through to my email. So then I have to click on my email and use the Face ID thing or whatever to get there. So it's taking time, right? And then I click on it, and then it needs to load. And what I see on the footage is you coming out the front door, and the visual of you like trying to shut the door and then stumbling down the steps was like, I'm like, oh my God, this cannot be happening right now. And you know, there was audio there, so I could hear your keys, and I'm like, God, no, please no, please no. And I am obviously in bed, complete exhaustion. I just throw myself out of bed. I have just a visual. I have pajamas on, and they're literally like bathing suit pajamas that I bought at Aerie. Okay, not exactly appropriate attire, and it's winter time in Utah, and I run to the front. I open the blinds to look out. You're gone. And I'm like, shit. So I grab my keys, do not get dressed, do not even put on a robe, do not have shoes on, forget to put my contacts in or wear my glasses, and I'm as blind as a bat without them. So not literally, But I also have glaucoma, so I have halos if I do not have like the right like glasses on and everything around. So it's just a mess, okay? And I think there was like a light snowfall out. It was icy out. It was just a disaster. And I jump in my car and I start driving around our community in the middle of the night looking for my daughter. And I am bawling. I'm just at wit's end. I don't know, like, and I'm calling you and you're ignoring my calls. And then you would pick up the phone and I'd be like, Lizzie, where are you? Just pull over, stop the car, I'm coming to get you. And you'd be like, I am in this shopping mall parking lot. You can come here and get me. And I would drive there, which wasn't very far, you know, treating any traffic light as a four-way stop at this point, hoping the cops aren't out. And I get to that parking lot and you weren't there. And I'm like, this is awful. Like, she's either gonna drive over the edge, because I couldn't even imagine how you were operating a vehicle, get pulled over by the cops, which probably would have been a blessing to at least save you and say, well, yeah, I mean, I hate to say it like that.
Yeah, it would have been better for sure.
I mean, I was like, maybe, okay, it's like, what are you saving her from? And ultimately, I was like, I cannot allow you to hurt somebody else's child.
No.
I cannot allow my daughter to go out on the roads like this and harm somebody else in our community. And I was like, I'm willing to sacrifice my own job, my career, everything to save somebody else's child at this point, because I was like, this is just going to end badly. It's going to end in somebody's death. And it went on for probably 15 minutes. And in that moment, I just said, I cannot do this anymore. If I got pulled over by the cops, because I look super suspicious, I'm stopping my car at all these roads and looking down the roads. I'm driving aimlessly through parking lots. I am getting out of my car to peek. I have a bathing suit on in the middle of the night in snowy Utah. And I'm like, I'll be caught on body cam. It'll go viral. It'll end everything I've worked for 30 years. I also have other kids, right? I was thinking about all these things. I'm like, I can't keep trying to save Lizzie, even though I want you to so badly help yourself. And I drove home. I'm like, I gotta give up. And obviously now I still can't see, and any car that's dark parked on the side of the road is at risk for getting me for slamming into it. So I get home, I pull in, and you're in the freaking driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know whether to thank God or cuss you out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was happy and I was so angry at the same time that I could hardly even look at you. And I parked my car, I walked right past you, and I went in the house. And you walked in the house with a 12-pack of White Claws.
Wait, no, you got this wrong. You got this wrong.
What part?
That part.
What did you walk in the house with?
No, you have the timeline wrong, okay? I didn't walk in the house with a white thing of White Claws. You want me to tell my story?
Yes, you tell it from your perspective.
Because this is legitimately what happened. Is I kept telling my mom, I'm at this place. But bottom line is, you have to, like, the whole thing is horrible. But like when you're in that mindset and you're drinking, like you don't care. Like you're better to just let me go, because they're not going to be like, oh, I'm at the 7-Eleven down the street buying alcohol. Like, then you're going to come and make sure that I don't buy alcohol. And my whole it's like your whole thought process is like, I need alcohol. Like, I need to drink. Like, I'm running out. I have none left. Like, there's no, it's tunnel vision.
Okay.
So,
right.
but you legitimately have like the driving, the doing all this. And I'm like, I understand that. Like, I would never want in this state of mind for me to hurt anybody, and definitely not when I'm drinking. Am I like, oh, I hope I crash into someone today?
I know you wouldn't.
And
I know that.
And nobody means to do that, but when you do, it fucking can ruin everybody's life involved and everybody's family's lives involved. And I am not here for it, but I also am like, oh no, I can understand why people get behind the wheel, as selfish as it is, it's like I have to get a drink or I have to go get drugs. Like this is like I will walk there, and that's probably what I should have done. Is get in the, but I would rather, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I would do anything.
You
I would
just are
walk through
like,
the
I'm gonna
snow.
do
It's
this.
just I'm doing it. Like so, telling my mom I'm here. So she's driving everywhere, which is just fucked up. But then I go to 7-Eleven, I buy a 12-pack. I come back home, pull in, whether you had gotten home obviously, or I was home before you, or whatever. So I think you pulled up or whatever, and then I got out. Did not bring the alcohol in.
Okay. You're right.
Did not bring the alcohol in.
Okay. I can see you on the stairs though with the pack of.
No, yeah, because this is what happened. Then I went and you're like, no, you're not. You are literally staying in, like, she would made me have a sleepover, pretty much, is what happened.
She came in my room.
Because she was like, you're not, because I don't trust that you're not going to get back in your fucking car and leave again. So I was like, okay. So then I'm laying there and I'm just like eyes wide open, antsy, like just jonesing for alcohol. Like I could taste it. I'm just like, I need it now. Like I want to get drunk. This was my plan. Like it was literally like I was almost aggravated that like I couldn't be drinking, and I just felt like I had to. And I got up finally. I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna go get my headphones. No, you don't need your headphones. Mom, I can't sleep without my headphones.
This was a ruse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so, and I'm fine saying this now, but like, yeah. And so I got it, and then you met me at the door because I wasn't thinking like, oh, she's gonna come to the door because she's worried that I'm bringing out or I'm leaving again or whatever the situation was.
Right.
And it's, I mean, I feel for the whole. Like,
Well,
like I would never intentionally hurt you or someone else. Like that wasn't in that situation. Your best thing to do is not what my mom did, but my mom wanted to save me so bad that she was willing to do that. And then it was like, okay, half or all the way through, she's like, okay, I can't fucking do this. Like I can't risk it all. I can't do this, which is understandable. Throw your hands up in the air.
and
Whatever
it wasn't the
happens,
first time.
happens.